How do you establish trust when building relationships?
Well, with my staff, I just give it. There's that Paul McCartney, John Lennon line, the love you get is equal to the love you give, or something. I mean, it's that kind of notion, right? I think that if you get it, if you give it, you get it. So, but that's with your staff, and that's kind of more controllable, right? I think for folks who are, let's say, more senior than me or in different parts of the business, right, where there's no direct reporting relationship, I think that one of the things that I do is I exhibit to them that I trust them, and I try to demonstrate to people that I think about them in the circle of trust. I was just talking to someone about this today, someone I had lunch with, to say in our first interview, when she was interviewing me, we got to talking about a personal issue for her, and I gave her some advice that you probably wouldn't give somebody that you had just met, right? And she was talking to me about this today. This was 2 years later. I said, well, I did that to say like I would expect that we would have a relationship that is, trusting, right? And then I was gonna kind of talk to you about this stuff, and once again, I guess in some ways I did the same thing I do with my staff. I gave her my trust, right? And I brought her into my circle. And that's what I try to do. Now, having said that, some people are unresponsive to it. Some people don't respond when you say something personal, right? Or when you be kind of a real person, they may not respond, and that tells you something about them, right? I think that tells you kind of more how you have to treat them, right? It's a more buttoned down relationship. But what I tell people about trust is, once again, I try to come up with the pithy line. Trust is the currency of business, right? That is how business works. It's not money, right? The way things happen is that if I trust you to do something and you trust me, that we all kind of trust each other, that we're all going to do what we said we're going to do, right? We're going to meet our commitments. The Wall Street certainly thinks about it that way, right? So the thing you're making commitments about is money or projects or whatever, right? But I think that what limited success I've had, I think, is because people trust me to do the right thing. They trust my judgment, and I've tried to demonstrate it. So I think also, you get a lot of benefits by reps. One of the things that I try to do for the staff is make sure that they don't, when I'm delegating, they're in a situation where they can fail, right? Part of that trust is when somebody gives me something that I have the judgment to know when it cannot fail. That if my boss asks me to do something that, I have to make a call, right? Is this something that he's willing to tolerate failure on, or that he's not going to be super happy about? And to the extent that I get it right, I build up more trust, right? I build up social capital. I think it was social capital. And in fact, we built up enough social capital with the stuff we're working on, where the company has entrusted us with more strategically important things to do. Right? And I think that's how you know when you're a success, right? That if you kind of feel that that your circle of trust gets bigger. I guess I'd say it that way.